No, dude, it was an old guy who kept telling me, I mean, it really was like beyond glazing. Listen, I understand people there out in the world. I'm not here to one by one argue with everybody on their political beliefs. All right. I know it's a big country, but this guy was beyond glazing. He was like saying things like, man, Melania's incredible. He was saying things like, did you know she speaks 14 languages? And she's just beautiful. Like, he was saying, like, he was like a true fan. He wasn't just like, Trump gets the job done, which is not, whatever. It's not what I would agree with, but like, I can stomach it. But this guy was not like that. This guy thought genuinely, like, he was saying shit like, I think he mentioned Venezuela. He was talking about how much good was going to come from that. And I just challenged him a bit. I'm not going to argue with this guy, but I like present myself as somebody who they might agree with. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then I'm like, but I've been hearing that like even the oil companies are like afraid to go in there. Like they're not gonna be able to restart the pump. He's telling me it's gonna be billions of barrels a day. And when he realized that I knew about it, because early on he was asking me questions like, do you know what nationalize means? I was like, yeah, I know what nationalize means. And he's like, well, that's what they did. They nationalized these, Exxon was in there and they nationalized it all. And I was like, all right, okay, yeah, I knew that. But so if they did that and the regime hasn't changed, it's Maduro's second in command, why would these oil companies be willing to go back in? Why? And that kind of stumped him. But it's funny. So I see his brain working on it for like 2 seconds. And then rather than engage with my question, which is great, he doesn't even respond. He just switches topics and never stops moving. He doesn't even get angry at me. He just switches topics. It was wild. I thought it might be confronting him. So he'd be like, well, you get huffy, but he didn't even get huffy. He didn't slow down a beat. He just switched to something else. And he did that over and over. And it was unassailable. He really had an unassailable. He talked about, I'm trying to think of other things he talked about. There were so many, but I was so bored. And I kept trying to put my headphones on. I tried so many times to put my headphones on, bro. I was bored. I was bored. And then I was eventually able to get up and go to the bathroom, which kind of made a break. And I came back with my headphones on and I like instantly fell asleep, but I only slept for like an hour. And I woke up and they asked for a drink. I took my headphones off. And then as I was ordering the drink, he jumped back in. He ordered, cause I ordered like a ginger ale and he ordered fucking bourbon on the rocks. And he gets his bourbon on the rocks and he looks at me, he goes, little slice of heaven. And I laugh at it because that's a funny thing to say. And that's all the in he needs, dude. And that's all the in he needs. And then he's fucking off to the races. He was talking about how, oh my God, he's talking about how, I think this guy worked, by the way, in like military contracting or missiles or something. Like he travels all the time. He has security clearance and he's just drunk and yapping. He's just drunk and yapping, dude. It's crazy because I was so stun locked by what he was saying, but now in the moment I'm trying to remember specifics. I was just like, I swear to God, at the beginning I was kind of like, kind of playfully engaging a little bit. I don't care. I was kind of like poking and asking questions, but like once it became obvious that he wasn't even really listening to me, he was kind of just speaking. I tuned out and I was like, yeah, man, that's crazy. I was giving him a that's crazy and like not even looking his direction and he didn't stop. It was like real torture. Like I couldn't, and it was the whole flight and I didn't get any real sleep outside of that. When they keep talking after your third, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. I'm not kidding. That's what he did. I definitely hit him with 3 that's crazies. Yeah, the only part that I super remember because I thought it was so baffling was when he like pivoted to talking about how great Melania was as a person. That's the part where I remember thinking like, what is going on? What is that? It was completely unrelated, and he just started talking about how beautiful she was and how many languages she spoke. He must have seen the movie. That's when he realized he was a higher intellectual. Yeah, that's fucking true. That's fucking true. That's fucking absolutely true. No, okay, I do remember some parts. I remember some fucking parts. Okay, because early in the conversation, there was a bit of a rapport because we were talking about, I don't know, maybe it was his kids or something, but we were talking about, how America's kind of fucked up, like right now, economically, especially for younger people. My favorite subject. And, I was trying to pitch him. I was like, well, in your lifetime, right? We used to have pretty higher taxes on the top 1%. By the way, this guy wasn't top 1%. So whatever you say about him, this guy wasn't wealthy. He was okay. I mean, he's probably he's a one of the well-off boomers. Probably got his house that was up 10x in value, but he's not. He wasn't like wealthy. Yeah, maybe like a 180K guy. Like doing very well, but he's not like owning a ton of assets. So I'm talking to him and I mentioned that and he goes, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what fucked it up. You ever heard of a guy named Ronald Reagan? He's like, Ronald Reagan comes in and he has this whole trickle down idea. And I'm like, bro, you're spitting. Bro, you're fucking spitting. Absolutely. Like 100%. And he's like talking about how trickle down didn't work. And he's like, but then he just absolutely loves Donald Trump, who is cutting the taxes right now in the People's bill. Like he doesn't, it's crazy. His brain is broken for Trump. He had me in the first half. It was wild. I don't understand. It's always in the first half. So anyway, I mean, I thought this guy would have been a Ronald Reagan super fan, but he voluntarily brought him up and brought up trickle down as a failure. And then, so that's when we started talking more, but then I guess overly engaged because he got off on a fucking tangent about Trump. He's talking about the Epstein hoax? Yes! Okay, thank you for prompting me. Okay, because my brain is just mush. So this guy, he literally said to me, unprompted again, this is one of his topic switches. He's like, and I don't know why everyone gives a fuck about this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. It's like, who cares? It's like, and he can't. This is after a couple of bourbon on the rocks, bro. It's like, we got so many more important things to talk about. And everyone wants to bring it back to this stupid Epstein thing. It was wild. It was wild. Is he not planning on having kids? I assume he had kids, but he was old. He was pretty old. And, he's a little overweight. I'm not knocking him. Whatever. He could have been a nice guy. He wasn't even a mean guy. He just, when it came to Trump, his brain was broken. The sense I got, which is the shocking thing to me, is that he really thought Trump was just killing it in every respect, but especially like overseas. He just thought his tough talk was what the world needed. And he just really he just felt good about that. Maybe it's the 7 wars that he ended, Board of Peace or whatever. I don't know.